Do you really miss old YouTube? Or do you just miss how you felt back then? Yep, that's the question that we're answering today. So hi, I'm Tessie, and I have been watching and creating content for half of my life, which is crazy because YouTube has been around since 2005, which means it's actually younger than me, but probably older than some of y'all watching out there. So speaking of that, YouTube has been around for some time. So when I say old YouTube, what am I actually talking about? You can be talking about the Vine era, you can be talking about the Shane Dawson whole little period when he was doing his documentaries, you can be talking about the modern period with Mr.Beast. For this video, we're going to be comparing old and new YouTube from times before Logan Paul. And I think for new YouTube, I'll stick to currently, right now, after the Vine invasion and all that. Also, I know I'm filming from my car. It's just way better quality for the microphone and then also privacy because I live in a national park. Alright, part 1. Who are the creators? I think the best creators for this time has to probably be Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, and personally my favorites, O2L and Gen X Pen. Which some of them are still around to this day, but rather than as stupid kids, they're here as full-grown adults. So let's talk about that. A lot of the content back in the day were literally just kids with cameras making content that would keep other kids entertained. So the quality wasn't that great, and the editing was definitely mediocre. But the thing is that making that kind of content really connected with a lot of kids and weirdos that were out there. More on that later. The content back in the day, even if produced by people like Smosh or Slow-Mo guys, were still cringy to the content that's being made nowadays. Nowadays, a camera can cost upwards of $1,000 to $100,000. So yeah, the quality is better nowadays. And so the content nowadays is definitely higher budgets, especially with creators such as Mr.Beast, whose whole videos are just about giving away a lot of money. So you think old YouTube creators would suck in this regard, right? Wrong! Old YouTube creators, even though they did not have a lot of money, they were still creative and created a bunch of content that is still known to this day. The difference between old YouTube and new YouTube is that Mr.Beast and other creators definitely lack the sense of character. Creators back in the day definitely had interesting stories, if it was Smosh doing a skit or Ryan Higa doing a funny video, or O2L just doing a vlog or a challenge. And unlike today's creators and today's content, creators back then actually made trends that multiple people did. And they also made trends that lasted more than a couple days if you're lucky. Nowadays we got TikTok trends that only last a couple of days, maybe a week if they are lucky. Back then you had the cinnamon challenge that goes on in infamy to this day. The only really trend that I can see that is still sticking around from the new creators is just Mr.Beast and all of his copycats. The only trend is giving away a bunch of money and getting a bunch of followers. So I think for creativity and just creators in general, I think old YouTube wins this round, with 1 point going to old YouTube. Okay, part 2 is fairly simple. YouTube back in the day was not cool. Wow, newsflash, right? But I remember being bullied for liking some of my favorite creators back in the day. I remember being the weird cast out that was making YouTube videos and trying to fit in and find my own place, and just being bullied in school just because I even had the YouTube app. Fast forward to nowadays, to where if you don't have a favorite creator, you're kind of the weirdo now. More importantly, if you don't like Mr.Beast, you're considered a heathen. So for that simple fact, I am definitely glad that new YouTube has become more mainstream in a sense. New YouTube is definitely more watchable, more quality, and definitely more widespread. I know a lot of people who rather watch YouTube than watch TV or TV shows. YouTube really is the TV of our modern generation. Okay, so for that fact, new YouTube wins with 1 point going towards new YouTube. Alrighty, so this round is like a double whammy. This one is 2 points. And the reason why it's a double whammy is because this definitely could be like a whole video within itself. So part 1, the fact that content is mainstream now. Like I said earlier, it was cool that weirdos are no longer weirdos because they just like YouTubers. But back in the day, fandoms were so underground and were banished to Wattpad and Amino to try and find friends who like the same creators. You may think that's like a bad thing to this day, which, don't get me wrong, it's definitely not great. Because of this huge divide in fandoms and the fact that fandoms had to go so underground, fandoms were definitely protected and you had a huge greater sense of community. Nowadays, you got like 1 million followers and it's nothing, you know, it's just a number. Back in the day, you had small YouTubers that were on old YouTube that had 1,000, even 10,000 people watching you. It was 10,000 people watching you. 1 million followers back in the day was a huge fucking deal. It was the biggest number you could get. Nowadays, it's not, it's like 1 million is normal. Nowadays, content isn't about the community itself and like helping your community grow and having that connection, but rather community is just a number. Modern YouTubers don't care about their community. They care about just a number game. 10 million, 1 million, 20 million, 100 million subscribers. It's just a number to them. More people that they can exploit and more people that they can make money off of. Which, speaking of that, if you do want to subscribe to my channel, feel free. I still have only 1,000 subscribers and maybe 10 people who watch my videos. But the difference is that I actually care about my community, unlike some creators out there to this day. And I've been around since old YouTube and new YouTube, so I definitely seen like a change and shift in community. So if you want to be a part of my community, and maybe we can have a little fandom of our own, feel free to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more. So for the simple fact that back in the day, old fandoms and old groups were definitely like a lot more valuable. If you had a community on YouTube, you had a community. If you had 1,000, 10,000 people, you had that many people watching you. Nowadays, it's just a number game, and for that just simple fact that every number just feels fake to me, and it's crazy because 10 million people watching you is fucking crazy to me. So for the simple fact that just it's a number game now, I think old YouTube wins that one. So another point to old YouTube. Part 2 of this round. Content. I know, you've been waiting for it. Woohoo! I think as computers have gotten better and cameras have gotten way better too, new YouTube is definitely higher quality content. And I touched on that before, but let's touch on that more. As the quality gets better, yes, the content itself doesn't necessarily mean that it gets better. Bruh. Do I think that new YouTube is better than the old YouTube content? Yeah. Yes. Don't get me wrong, I love an old Gen X pen video or an old O2L challenge video, but nowadays the quality and the quality control that we have on videos is just so unfair to those videos back then. Like I said, it was just kids back then making videos, but now we have actual in-depth video essays like this one, so many better videos like Mr.Beast videos and eating at every Jimmy Buffett restaurant in the world. Like, these are insane videos that are out there. They're almost like high quality documentaries. And as much as I give the hate to Mr.Beast videos, his content is so high quality and well thought out and well produced. His content is amazing. The content is so much higher quality. And quality, for a fact, is just better than crap. And as much as like we want to say like old YouTube was way better with its content, way more creative, and all people do is just copy Mr.Beast nowadays, that's not necessarily true. As though a bunch of people do copy Mr.Beast, and I think Mr.Beast copycats are a huge fucking deal, there is other YouTube content that's out there that is so beautiful. There's one van lifer that I really like to watch. It's like Hey X Natalie or something like that. who does documentaries about their journey, and it's so beautiful and it makes me cry half the time I watch them. Content back in the day with Smosh just made me laugh because I was a stupid kid. Nowadays, content, yes, is still made for stupid little kids like Mr.Beast videos, but there's still an audience for older people like ourselves because YouTube is such a wide range of content. Also, I don't think that we should be arguing this fact for the main fact that old YouTube is still on new YouTube. Even though it's like the creators are a little bit different and stuff like that, the old videos are still on here. We still have the old videos on new YouTube. So I think for that fact that the content is just so much more better produced and well made that new YouTube just wins this round flat out. Okay, conclusion. To make this video just a little bit shorter so you don't have to watch another 20-minute or 30-minute long video, I think the simple conclusion I've come to is there is no clear winner. Maybe you like new YouTube, maybe you like old YouTube. I know personally I really like the old YouTube content, not as much as I like the new YouTube content, but I still love watching new YouTube content. The old YouTubes are still on YouTube, like the old videos are still on here. So if you like that, go and watch that. And if you like what you like it, you know? Like, be that weirdo, be that kid that was on the internet making videos like I am. Be who you are. Like, genuine quality content is just being yourself on the internet. And I think that's like beautiful, because back in the day we had that understanding with old YouTube where if you were yourself, you had a fandom, you had people that were watching your videos. Nowadays it's definitely like watered down, but I think it's still there. If you're yourself on the internet, people like that. People like being you. People like seeing you for who you are. Now, please don't get mad at me for dissing on Mr.Beast videos, but his content has definitely flooded my For You page, and as much as I hate him, he's such a beautiful, amazing creator as well. So please don't give me any hate for him. Alright, so with that conclusion, if you want to subscribe or if you want to like my video, feel free to go ahead and do so. I have more videos planned in the future, and this is definitely a different style of video and one of my first different style of like video essays that I'm going to be doing. I think the next one I want to cover is YouTube ads and the fact that Audible back in the day were just so insane with how many people that they sponsored. And nowadays you can't watch a single video without being brought to you by an ad, and like back in the day you didn't even have ads on YouTube because it was such a wild fucking thing. Anyways, that's a different video in the future, so if you want to hear that or if you want to see that, feel free to subscribe below. And if you like this video and you want to see me make more video essays and more content like that, go ahead and give me a like. And please, since I am a very small creator, if you wouldn't mind just sharing this video even once to someone else, that would just mean the entire world to me. I really care about my community and I want to grow it, and I hope that you guys want to grow with me and have a whole journey of nostalgia as well. And if you want a topic covered, go ahead and comment it down below and I might make a video about it. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go so I don't make this video too long. So I hope to see you guys next time, and peace.